Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Okakadosh, the will to the elders, the apostles of great men, so not surely do well. Citation to each and every one of the Akim that push this without the insincerity and truth. Is that somebody, brother Sam GMS Trinidad, coming to do another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai. Alright, brother Lamad.
Brother Hawad.
Alright.
Brother Nakamia.
Right, hopefully, we seeing always the things that are going on around the world, the leadership, the democracies and everything that, the king of the world setting up right about now, and the whole place out of order, because guess what? Most presidents, which basically they are set up as kings, presidents, prime ministers, they are the rulers of the people, and they're supposed to make sure in every province or country it has order instead of just studying the economy. Right? The scriptures say what? You can't worship God and mammon. Right? Somebody here Wisdom of Solomon 6 and start at verse 1 for me.
Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 1. Hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand, learn, ye that be judges of the ends of the earth.
Right, so king go back to the Hebrew word malak, right, which also means a counselor, which every king is supposed to actually counsel the nation that he ruling over, make sure everything straight and right. You understand that judgment always going forth. But you don't see that in this country. The first thing a prime minister will start talking about the economy and this and the fiscal year, and the GDP, gross domestic product. But he's supposed to be the one saying down, and if a man have a problem with his wife, right, going out there and having extramarital sex, he's supposed to be the one there saying, hey, well, guess what, that's wrong. And execute true judgment according to the Bible, because this whole world is under hypocrisy. Because what? In most national anthems, you'll hear, let God bless our nation, or whatever the case is. But where is God in your nation? Right? Where is God in your nation? The scripture says the eyes of the Most High are upon a sinful kingdom, and he will not destroy it. That's right. So instead of you just studying money, study righteousness, and the Most High's one will grow your economy. Because the Most High will curse the land because judgment not going forth. Innocent blood being spread all over the place. And instead of you put murderers to death, all about democracy, a murderer have no right to live according to the scriptures. Alright? A murderer have no right to live. Put them to death. If a man could watch his brother and just will you watch me so far, boy, and pull a trigger, and that man never doing anything, that is ratazak. That is murder. You're supposed to hang that person or kill him the same way that he put that innocent person to life. Look, just what sometime this week, alright, they kill a man and his 2-year-old daughter. Now we will understand the spiritual part of it, but what kind of sick, demented person could put a 2-year-old to pull a trigger and put a 2-year-old to death of his own flock? Alright?
They said that shoot a police killing, police murder 3 men, alright, in a vehicle. And they bluntly see that these police shoot these men without a cause, because these men had their hands in the air, these men hands in the air. And I mean, the following the same pattern at the United States, America, the officers in America, the same pattern, but I can understand they shooting on their own kind. They killing their own kind, So really and truly, there is falling in the ways of the wicked.
Yeah, your father's the devil, he was a murderer in the beginning. You understand? And following after the example of the wicked. Well, we said there.
Which one?
Give ear, ye that rule the people, and glory in the multitude of nations.
And who is that right about now? That's speaking about the elites, right? Who sit on the top seat in the secret government, or the shadow government, as some people will call it. You know who we are? The so-called Jewish Alright? Know who you are. You glory in the multitude of the nations. Alright? Go ahead.
For power is given you of the Lord, and sovereignty from the highest. Who shall try your works and search out your counsels? Because, being ministers of his kingdom, ye have not judged aright.
Yeah, you have not judged aright. Alright? Because, hey, it have certain kings in ancient days would have understand that God of Israel, right, is the true God, and they would have executed certain righteous judgment. But what you doing, Esau? And then you have, these certain governors that is set up, prime ministers, whoever the case is, going folly just because what? Your God is money. You set up yourself as if you is God. You understand? Gonna be Job 9:24.
So Job chapter 9 verse 24 says the earth is given unto the hands of the wicked.
Give me first Maccabees with Alexander Great. First Maccabees. Yeah. Is it good as well?
Done. Job 9:24 says the earth is given unto the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
First Maccabees 1:7-9. You understand? Yeah, so the world is given into the hands of the wicked one. Right? So we will not see who is the wicked. Right? Well, according to Malachi chapter 1 verse 5, Esau is the border of wickedness.
That's right.
Right? They call themselves, they proclaim to be the so-called white man, but there's rednecks. They're actually red in complexion.
It says 25.
Exactly. So let me see where this wickedness started to come from. Right? Because Alexander the Great was the first redneck that actually started to govern the whole world. And he was an expert in war. People up to this day still use certain of his tactics in war. The Romans, they love him because why? That is their people. Well,
the book of First Maccabees chapters 1 and verse 7 says, so Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare ruled every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years.
Right, so that's the time of the Diaguchi Wars, of the Darcus Wars, where Alexander the Great, 4 generals, placed crowns on the head and split up to the 4 wings, which goes back to the book of Daniel with the leopard beast with the 4 heads and 4 wings. You understand? Well,
and evil were multiplied in the earth.
And what happened?
Evil multiplied in the earth.
Evil multiplied in the earth. Right? Somebody made a mistake sometime and say was the Romans. No, from Greeks. From the time the Greeks, that is when evil started multiplying wood, because these people, according to the scriptures, this is Psalms 50 and verse, and somebody gave us 1 Timothy, 2 Timothy 3:16, and I read that. This is Psalms 50. Devils. Psalms 50 and 16. It says, but unto the wicked the Most High said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction and casteth my words behind thee? And that is the thing. The Most High say, if a man lie with a man, you understand, this is wickedness. Put them people to death. You have people now with the Black Lives Matter movement saying black transgender lives matter.
Madness.
Right? All of a sudden, adultery in the Constitution, over here in Trinidad, they say that the laws of the land based off of the laws of the Bible, but yet, you ask a police officer if adultery is a crime, which sin and crime is basically the same thing, because sin is a transgression of the law, or when you break one of God's law, and crime is when you break a law. Basically, sin is crime, for the lack of better words. But yet, Officer, so adultery isn't what you call it? No, adultery isn't a crime. So a man could go and have sex with another man's wife. When the scripture plainly telling in Leviticus 20 and 10, if a man sleep with another man's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. Matter of fact, somebody could get out of me real quick, Leviticus 20 and 10. Right? Somebody had something there before. Timothy? Yeah, read that real quick. Right. And since they are in thing, I think they're probably Second Timothy jealousy. 2 Timothy 3:16, you can start at 15.
Done. Say 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 15, and that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures.
From a child thou hast known the holy scriptures. So guess what? God taught Abraham the law. Abraham would have taught Isaac, he would have taught Ishmaelites, why the Muslims, right, or Islam, they have certain laws parallel or the same laws that the Israelites would keep, you know. So from a child, even Esau would have known the law, but the scripture says he hated instruction. He was a fool. You understand? Go ahead.
Continuing, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith which is in Yahushua.
Wise unto salvation. When a father put down laws in the house, what will and save you from getting a cutters? By obeying what he said. That will and save you from getting a cutters. That's why some fathers will say, you're lucky. If you didn't listen to me, I would have bust your ass. You understand? Go ahead.
Continuing with 16, all scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness.
For instruction in righteousness, which is unto life. But you, Esau, had the whole God down with out of order, that everybody protested. And now, what do you want to do? You want to come in on that white horse, play like if it's God, order appear, you cause all the order, all the chaos, and then you go and play like, I didn't do nothing, and then come in and act like, well, I have the solution, take the RFI region, everything will be in order. You don't in Trinidad here the Lewis appliances with your whole smart house. We don't know where you're going. The men of the Lord know where you're going. The scripture says we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. So this man talk, good night, wherever the CPU for the house, you see the computer for your say good night and shut off all the appliances. I don't want that. I don't want that. Slap.
Some Proverbs.
Let me read this first, and then go to Proverbs 6:26. Shall a man take fire into his bosom?
This is Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 10. It says, and the man that committed adultery with another man's wife, even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death.
And they shall surely be put to death. Adultery goes back to, I believe it's a Latin word, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to lie, so best thing to do is just look it up. Add to terrain to alter, right? To alter the characteristics whatever the case is. You understand? To alter that spirit, which is confusion. The Most High give a line, right? If a man and a woman together, they hold communion, and next man not supposed to come there. You bring forth a bastard fruit. You understand? And you people just not putting that in your mind. The Most High said order, but you people putting chaos, confusion.
Alright, and I don't belong to verse 13, but hey, some people like to say that hey, because our next man, like our next man, that is not their problem. Hey, that should be your problem because you encouraging it. Alright? You encouraging it. Not because you don't like man and like a friend, you're okay with it. Here with the scripture saying this is Leviticus chapter 20 and 13. If a man also lied with mankind, as he lied with a woman, alright, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. You hear that? They shall surely be put to death. their blood shall be upon them. You understand? The blood shall be upon them. It's not to take them and give them a holiday or give them rights. It's to put them to death. And who don't like it, take it to Yahweh Shemashai, take it to the Lord. You know, this is words there.
That's right.
This is his laws. And man shall not be with man, you shall not commit adultery. You know? You have a price to pay for that.
This is the book of Proverbs chapter 6. And I'll start from 27, right?
Yeah.
It says, can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burnt?
Mm-hmm.
Can one go upon hot coals and his feet not be burnt? So he that goeth in to his neighbor's wife, whosoever toucheth her, shall not be innocent.
You know, sign out to me, man, don't be programmed there. So from the time a man see that automatically is a spirit when and jump on him, he going and study to tear up the place. Well,
it says, verse 30, men do not despise a thief if he steal to sacrifice his soul when he is hungry.
well,
But if he be found, he shall restore sevenfold. He shall give all the substance of his house. But whosoever committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding.
mm-hmm.
He that doeth it destroy his own soul.
Destroy his own soul, and there is something that Paul say. The dead cannot worship the Most High. So what the Most High do, the Most High give laws that well pleasing unto him to make a man do what? Live. So that man can live and worship and serve his creator. Like by the Most High give rules. Alright, but if you go contrary to the rules, automatically what spirit gonna come after death? Because you don't know what the Most High programmed that man. Not every man going and sigh and just turn back and walk out. But our man, he know in there what? He treat like right by the corner there, he going and chop you up. And the woman too, which is actually righteousness. Which is actually order. The scripture said that they will do no more such wickedness in Israel. You understand?
Fake one, slap, yeah. It's a young lady, she was 19 or something, so she met she man with her next man and she bust it short. She in the right spirit.
Mm-hmm.
She in the damn right spirit. You know? But you know the prophet she jail time for it she do. Understand? What she do it look wrong in the eyes of the public. But what she do in the eyes of the Most High is the correct thing. It's the right thing. Alright?
This is Sirach 17, verse 11, and I'll jump down to verse 14. It says, besides this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for an heritage. You understand? I'll read you. He said, he made an everlasting covenant with them and shewed them his judgments. Their eyes saw the majesty of his glory, and their ears heard his glorious voice. And he said unto them, beware of all unrighteousness, and give every man commandment concerning his neighbor. You understand how to treat a neighbor. If love your neighbor as thyself, love the Most High with all thy heart, thy body, and thy soul. Upon these rest all the commandments. You can't just go around commit adultery. You just can't go around committing murder, homosexuality, you ain't reproducing it. They place out of order. Give me Isaiah 24, 5 and 6. And give me Psalms 83,
The book of Isaiah,
Psalms 84 and 5.
verse 8. Isaiah 24 verse
Verse 4, verse 5 and 6.
Verse 5, it says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof.
Defiled it unclean. The word unclean underneath the inhabitants thereof. Who from Alexander the Great coming all the way down to the Romans, coming down to the Greco-Roman Empire, Europe, the Americas, the so-called white man are ruling. They are the ones that had the world polluted. All the chemicals, all the things that they're doing right about now also, they're just polluting. They're not keeping the land sour. You know, well,
Because they have transgressed the law,
Because they did what?
transgressed the law,
Transgress the law,
changed the ordinance,
change the ordinances,
broken the everlasting covenant.
broken the everlasting covenant, the agreement. This world is based on laws. If it is, sir, if it is that you're doing a trade, each trade have a particular law. If you change it, it's going to bring forth chaos. When it digging for a foundation, according to the height of work, going up, you have to dig deeper. If it is that you going, let me say 10 stories up, or whatever the case is, you can dig a foundation 4 feet in the ground, you're going to topple over.
And because, if you go against that law, you get yourself in problem. You know, that have a certain boundary. They're set. You know, the Lord has set a certain boundary. You know what I mean? That they carry you past, because if you pass that line, there's an error. You know, you get yourself in some serious problems. Death. I mean, like if you cause it below a boundary, below a law, what has happened? You put to death. You know what I mean? Piece of it. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 3 and verse 10. Start from 10. It says, "Say ye to the righteous, that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruits of their doing. Woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hands shall be given him. As for my people, the children are the oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which led thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy path." Destroy the way of your path. Right? Destroy the way of your path. Be set. You understand? By following what? The so-called white man way. You know? But not the way of the Heavenly Father. You know, the way of the ancients. For the ancients used to cry about the sense, right? For they used to trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahshai. The ordinances. You know?
Slack, I just want to add on to what he's saying there too. Right? Because with that same precept that you read there is Isaiah 2:12. You see, if people understand words, right? Word, because it says children are the oppressors and women who rule over them. Meaning what? They're speaking about the man in general inside of that precept. Now, a man, when he have a family, he becomes what? A father, which goes back to the Hebrew word Abba, which Abba means the power or the strength of the house, right? The scripture says man is the head of the house. So if he have children come out and loins and he are a woman who bear his seed, it come like a snake, you understand, for a woman to rule over them, which woman supposed to be like the tail. It come like a snake using the tail and going backward. It ain't the same way going. And guess what? That snake might end up into the next snake mouth. Because snake does eat snake. You understand? And children what? Children play for children don't really use their head like that. What they going to do with the body of the snake? They going to take it, play with it, and do what kind of madness until the snake dead. And that is where Esau win. They're destroying the Hebrew Israelite family. You understand? Yeah, please step back there.
Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 7. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nation have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
The nations are mad. Babylon is this nation we right now, right? We modern day Babylon, right? All the nations they drink out of that cup. The nation of Israel are drunk out of that cup, right? And they get drunk with the philosophies of this land, right? When they get drunk, it doesn't know yourself, and that is what the nation of Israel did. They drink out of that cup. They get drunk and they don't even know who it is. Right? So now the Bazodi, the Bazodi, they know what is going on. So, and that speaking of 2/3. Right? Because the men who preaching this word, they already are aware what is going on. We are aware what is going on.
It was the back what you were saying before. Jeremiah 6 here was actually Jeremiah 6:16, not 6:6. It says, "Thus saith Yahweh, stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the old
That
paths."
precept that go come in my head. Ask for the old parts. Before parents, hey, Job was a man who feared the Lord. He used to offer sacrifices unto the Lord daily. Right? And that's how we're supposed to be doing it. Former sin, we're supposed to be, asking for forgiveness. For the old path, the other still the old path. Bring back the old time days.
It says, "Where is the good way, and walk therein?
Where is the good way, and walk therein?
And ye shall find rest for your souls." But they said, "We will not walk therein."
They the old path here. Because when you open up this book, you see how we used to live. Right? But now we have a new agenda. The nation is have a new agenda and a new mindset of how to live. Right? Everything is the scripture say it all going backward in Isaiah 1. Right? Because a man is not a man anymore. Right? The woman running the household. Right? They can't buck up against that because the system, the entire system against the man. Right? The woman have all rights. Back in ancient times, a man hit a woman and bill a divorce when they send she out of the house. Now that backwards, a woman hitting divorce and she taking everything with she. Right? She taking the entire house. You are a fine, you are a pay apartment, pay rent, and pay child support at the same time. Right? So everything just backward.
Yeah, what people said that. Isaiah chapter 5 verse 20, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter."
You gotta explain that.
You people know exactly what scripture says. We are not doing it. Alright? This is Psalm chapter 82 and 2. It says, "How long will ye judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked?" Selah.
Yeah, and that's something I must say, when you really think about the ministers inside of this country too, they accept the person and the wicked. Because it's not to say somebody don't know the hidden agenda of the people you're actually looking for. But the thing about it is, are they willing to see a lot of people dying because are they making a covenant with death and hell, just thinking that your ass will not be saved? Just like in the time of Judas Maccabees, I think it's Alchemist and wicked Israelite. Just because he wanted to be high priest, he caused a lot of frictions on his own people. You understand? And that is setting up the wicked. That is what, just because you want to be prime minister or whatever, the high profile, just like the scribes and Pharisees, you willing to do wickedness.
Is that precept? Sure. Actually, that is the cheat signal.
231.
231.
You understand? Yeah, so how long what?
It says Psalms 82 and verse 2. It says, "How long will ye judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked?"
Yeah, them Syrians. You know? These Elamites. You know, the wicked. Stand for someone right. You understand, sir? Well,
Don't forget them Moabites. You know? That dealing with Jake and China, you know, unjustly. Judge of verse 5. It says, "They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course."
Blinded. They walk in darkness. You can't see any dark. I know that street lights. You better go and go.
or now, take the Jeremiah 2:23, but I'm sure it's like this is super. So,
if God go on the mountain, if it's all over the place. You know?
Yeah. Man love darkness and light. You know? I like to walk in that darkness and the wicked. That is spread and feed our people. Lies, to do the wrong. everything back to front.
In scripture say, Revelation 12 and 12, we only have a short time. So he just do what he had to do. Only lead every nation Israel astray, or every nation astray. Because that's the agenda.
Hey, we learn everything from this man. We learn how to steal, we learn how to kill, we learn how to fight against one another through this man. Teach us to do that.
And that we hope you are satisfied and giving our praises to the true teacher, Yahweh, Barasham Yahushai, Barasham Makakadash, the Steady elders and the apostles of great blessing that surely do well. Citation to each and every one of the apple to push this word in sincerity and true brothers from generation that's in Shalom. Shalom.